Hello, everybody, and welcome to another live Argentina discussion. My name is Roy Nemer of Mundo Albiceleste.com. I am joined by the one and only Sebastian Garcia of Mundo Albiceleste.com. We are here to talk about Argentina's 2-0 win at the Copa America versus Canada. We're going to talk about the players, the goals, some statistics, some facts, your questions, your comments. Before we get into all of that, Seba, how are you?
I'm happy. Happy with the win. Happy with the way we played. I wanted to say that you are the one and only, but I remember from yesterday there's two of you, so you're not the one and only. But thank you for the introduction, and thank you everybody for joining. As always, we're gonna soon start asking where you're watching from, and how you all saw this game and what you think about it.
Yeah, it was not the most easiest of matches, or at least it became a little bit more difficult than maybe it should have been. As always, everybody, as Seba mentioned, let us know in the chat where you're watching us from. We always tend to get from all around the world. Let's get to Zongao. It says, hola, hello, Zongao. Liam, hello. Davern, SFN. There you go. Let's keep that strength going. Janet saying, poor finishing, but I'll take the win. It's all good. This was almost the theme of the match for Argentina up front, was the poor finishing. Suraj, all the way from Dallas. Welcome, Suraj. Welcome, everybody. Big match. Copa America opener is never easy. An opening match of any tournament is never easy. I saw some people on Twitter not necessarily complaining, but saying Argentina should have done a little bit better than they did. But Seba, your initial thoughts and everybody's initial thoughts as well in the chat. Let us know. Seba, what did you think just initially of the match?
Yeah, well, as I said, just when we were opening, happy with the win. I'm not one for thinking only about results, but I think results are really important. They set the mood uh, for for so many players and the coaching staff and the fans even and the media. Uh, let's imagine for a second we didn't win today, and all of a sudden you start getting question marks. Players are losing confidence. Media, they are always very quick to attack the national team and the players. So I'm very happy with the results. With the result, first of all, I think um, Canada created a few problems for us, which we were able to navigate through. But I also think if we were a bit more clinical today, it could have been a goal fest. It wasn't, and it was hard fought, and it was only we only got this 2 goal cushion 5 minutes from time. It wasn't comfortable. It wasn't comfortable. Um, but it could have been and it should have been. I was surprised with Canada pressing so high, playing with a back line that was so up the pitch, and they were really exposed, and they risked it. It was a bit like Saudi Arabia. They did that and they did it to perfection, and we were most of the time offside in that game, in the opening game in the last World Cup. We scored a few goals in the first half, but two of them were offside or three. So today I think Canada took a page from that manual, and they did it perfectly, and we couldn't be clever enough to break that system that they put in place. But if we did, it would have been a different story. We would have run away with the game. Like for example, when Di Maria broke through, blocking one pass that was very dangerously played by the last man there for Canada, that should have gone in. It would have been 1-0 after only 10 minutes or so, and that would have been it. I mean, to me, that would have started a thrashing, an absolute thrashing. It wasn't to be, and then Canada started imposing, gaining confidence, created a couple of chances. Debo was immense today, but yeah, it was one of those games. It could have
Yeah.
anything could have happened. This is a fantastic sport, the only sport that a game like this could have gone both ways, really.
It really could have. I mean, you mentioned the Di Maria chance early on in the match. I'll be honest, when he was running through on goal for whatever reason, I kept getting just. I was nervous. I'm like, the ball's gonna bounce. He might pull something. He might get injured running at full speed. I was very, very nervous, and I don't know. Maybe he thought the same thing in terms of the pitch as well, because the ball was clearly bouncing. It wasn't 100% steady
Mm.
there, and I don't think that helped him. But the match could have gone either way. If Di Maria scores
Yeah,
that chance, then you're looking at maybe a different kind of a game. But you mentioned it. Some people in the chat are mentioning it, and we'll get to the comments in the chat in just a second. This had similarities to the match versus Saudi Arabia. The match versus Saudi Arabia, we had 2 goals, I think, that were called for offside. This one, Argentina beat the offside trap actually very, very well, but they were just unable to score. And
yeah. And
ultimately, we ended up taking our chances in the end, though.
also, you touched a point that it's been like the trending topic, not in social media, but I heard I listened to some of the post-match interviews for the players. Cuti Romero, Dibu Martinez, they were very, very critical of the pitch. And to be honest, first couple of minutes, the ball was, when you start familiarizing, watching the
Yeah.
game, seeing how the teams are positioned, how the players are feeling it, you also start watching and analyzing uh, what about the state of the pitch. And I saw a couple of plays, a couple of passes that the ball was bouncing, like it was really, really unsteady, and I think uh, it was evident. And when you hear Cuti Romero, Dibu Martinez, Dibu said the pitch was a disaster. Um, we need to take care of these details, because then we complain that the Euros are more attractive. It's a more attractive competition to watch, and but they play in perfect pitches, and here it's a disaster. And I have to say, I watched um, one of the games today. I don't remember
Spain,
which one it was. I
Italy,
think
England,
no, I think England.
Denmark.
I think the England game. The pitch was a mess too, maybe because of the rain and whatever. But in this case, there's no excuse. There's no
No,
excuse to
no,
present the pitch like that, and it was a disaster.
no, absolutely. And I was reading some comments online, people saying this is the dress rehearsal for the 2026 World Cup in the United States, and even the commentators here, the Canadian commentators, were even mentioning it, saying that the ball was bouncing, and you could actually even see it on one of Messi's opportunities where he tried to chip the goalkeeper, just the way it bounced
Yeah,
in front of him. We're going to get to the comments right away. If it's your first time watching us, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Trust me, we have a lot of stuff coming up. Let's see where everyone is watching from. Zongao watching all the way from Kentucky. Welcome, welcome. Janet from Toronto, Canada. Danielle from Malaysia, welcome. Danvers from Houston. We have a couple. Elmer from New York. MMH saying the Canadian goalkeeper was in Dibu mode. He certainly was.
it was great. Yeah,
He did well. He did well. John from Malaysia. Good morning, John. A Mundo Albiceleste family member, if we're being honest. Uh,
he's one of the founding. Yeah, I
Founding
mean,
fathers.
yeah, he's one of the founding fathers. Hola,
One of
John. Also,
finally, yes, go ahead.
if you allow me to grab one of the concepts there from John's comment,
Yeah,
not just for Scaloni. I mean, we have to go all the way back to 2016, the Copa America Centenario in the USA. It was also in the USA, and that was the last time we won in a debut of a big
tournament.
profile tournament like Copa America or World Cup. If we go back 2 World Cups, we lost to Saudi Arabia, and in 2018 we
We
only
drew
managed a
Iceland.
draw against Iceland, and in Copa America, the last one, we only managed a draw against Chile, and the previous one we lost to Colombia 2-0 in
Yeah,
the opening game. So the the last time we won in a debut at a big tournament, international tournament. It was 2016 2-1, and I think it was against Chile, if
Chile,
I'm not
Chile.
mistaken.
Di Maria and Banega scored in
Di
that one.
Maria Manega scoring. Yeah, that's right. Absolutely.
Yeah,
So there you go. And I was mentioning yesterday, not just the last four, but also there are famous defeats
of
in,
course.
in international debut for us, like World Cup '82, World Cup '90, as World Cup champions, as reigning champions. We lost to Belgium in '82, to Cameroon in
In
1990.
1990.
So yeah,
Yeah,
nerves are a factor, anxiety, tension, and also you need to find your rhythm. You need to find um,
it's
sharpness
yeah, it's
and
it takes a while. It's not always in the first match, and I've always been of the idea. I don't know if Seba you are, and if everybody else in the chat is as well. I feel like the first match you want to get away with two things. You want to get away with a win and no injuries. I feel like that's
yeah,
no matter what. And then in the second match, I mean, Janet's mentioning it now. We are never cohesive until the second match, and you just have to get to that one. Once you get to that one, then you're kind of good. You're kind of good for sure. A
absolutely.
shout out to Argentina fan, proud of my Canadian boys, but Argentina with that grit and experience, and credit to Canada as well. I mean, they gave it a go at one point, and Dibu had to
Yeah,
make a good save or two.
yeah. No, for me, a lot of credit to Canada. I mentioned yesterday. For me, I was thinking they will be the toughest rival for us in the first round. Um, I consider Argentina to be favored to win all three games
Yeah,
and all of the following games too. But I don't wanna get
we're
ahead. But
not yet, not
but
yet.
not yet, not yet. But I said that for just for physicality and speed, and they showed it. They show it today.
Yeah,
They were they never stopped running. They were chasing us everywhere. They were very physical. Didn't give us a lot of space. I still think that if we would have been a bit better today, but a bit more intelligent and sharp, we would have run away with the with the
with
win. I'm laughing at Mickey D's comment there. If you can bring it up,
there you go. Yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
the
We
Anula
might
Mufa. Yeah,
we have to. I mean, you have to explain that, I guess. I
I
suppose.
will explain this. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mufa means
like
jinx. When
yeah,
bad luck,
bad luck.
and Anulo is like I cancel. I block the jinx because when you say something good that you're anticipating that you're gonna win or whatever, then right after that you have to say Anulo Mufa, which
Yeah,
means
cancel the jinx. Cancel the
cancel
jinx.
the jinx. Yeah, yeah,
Cancel the jinx. Yeah.
yeah. Anulo Mufa,
Uh,
indeed.
yeah.
My kids keep repeating that. Yeah, they keep saying.
They're
But
very
for
smart.
everything, no, for everything. Like for example, I'm walking on the street and oh, we're gonna catch the next train, and he goes. My little son goes, Anula Mufa. It's like okay, whatever.
He's smart.
Uh,
He's smart.
he is. He
Let's
is.
let's get to some more some more comments here. Um, Liam mentioning, I was surprised Nico Gonzalez did not come in with the space Canada left in behind. I was kind of expecting that maybe in the second half for Di Maria. Instead, Scaloni went actually very different with Lo Celso, and we'll
Mhm.
talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, but tactically, if we stay for a second on that the left side
Yeah,
of our attack, Huevo Acuña, he used to play as an advanced midfielder on the left, and
yeah,
then with time he started playing more and more to the back. When he went to Sporting Lisbon and then Sevilla, but before he used to be almost like a winger, and at times during the first half we saw that he was clearly the constant option to search forward, and Messi was looking for him with long balls uh, crossed for Acuna to surprise, and he at times he was
he
taking
found it.
against two Canadians and progressing and making. I remember one play that I was very frustrated with the referee because Acuna was corralled and surrounded by a couple of Canadians, and he went like this and then like that, and then he played it in between them, and he was going
And the
alone
referee whistled.
by himself, and the referee gave a foul against Acuna. But I mean, I think he jumped the gun. The referee jumped the gun a little bit there because he was creating a chance for himself. But going back to the point, like tactically, he didn't introduce Nico Gonzalez today or Garnacho, another option
No.
that
Yeah.
he could have played there. But I believe it was because he was releasing Acuna a lot more, and then he introduced Otamendi in place of Paredes to play three at the back and give Acuna and Molina even more room to operate as almost wingers. And then he changed to refresh and put Tagliafico and Montiel. I think it was very, very good job by Scaloni with the changes today.
Yeah, tactically, I thought he did well. I was a little bit trying to understand maybe the Lo Celso one, especially by taking out Di Maria because we needed that, that speed, and Lo Celso isn't necessarily the fastest player in different positions. But I mean, as we always say, in Scaloni we trust, and it worked.
No, but also when Lo Celso was introduced for Di Maria, we up until that point we were playing almost like a 4-3-3, and we had Messi, we had Di Maria playing a bit wide, and Julian playing everywhere like he always does, but more central. And then when he made that change, we were already 1-0 up, so it was more trying to
Contain.
contain and to bring a different shape, and not have two stationed players to in the wide areas, and always put two up the middle, Messi and Julian Alvarez in this case. So Lo Celso for me was to try to control the ball a bit more, play through balls, and play with that advantage that we already had, and give the midfield a different shape and more control and more coverage of the pitch.
Yeah. It ended up working. It ended up working very, very well. I'm getting some comments here, and I kind of understand. And again, I see parallels, I see similarities to the match in terms of versus Saudi Arabia. But Tarun saying Canada exposed our back line at early stage of the tournament so we can improve the back line. There were definitely maybe at times some question marks. Funky mentioning thanks to Canada, they exposed our weakness early in the tournament. Having too slow again players high up is something that needs to be addressed. I think it's going to depend maybe a little bit more on the opponent. We spoke about it literally yesterday, about how Scaloni tends to adjust depending on the opponents, and we have the players to do so. We certainly have the players to do so. So, look, I'm just happy we got the win.
Yeah, there was a lot of debate on whether who should be starting up front, Julian or Lautaro. I said yesterday, for me, it's a nice problem to have when you have such good options up front. You see top international teams like Spain, and their best option as number 9 is someone like Morata. No disrespect, but Julian and Lautaro are miles ahead of Morata, in my opinion. And you go through all the European teams, and they don't have two like this. They don't.
They lack. Germany does.
Yeah, exactly. Most of them don't even have one like them. We have the two. And I said, look, this is a modern football. You have 5 substitutions. Part of your game plan is to think ahead in the substitutions. And so you know that you can tell Julian or Lautaro, whoever starts, you can tell them, look, you're going to play 70 minutes. Give it your all. Don't save it. Don't. You're not going to have to be on the pitch 90 minutes. If you're left with nothing in the tank, just let me know. I'll put the other number 9. See, if you only last 60 minutes, that's fine. 70 minutes, that's fine. And Lautaro, he played 14 minutes today.
I don't-
He had a horrible miss, and that was bad. But he had two chances. He sent one in. That's
and
that's
and he
amazing.
was he was a live wire, and they're both very different. I mean, I brought up Jakotako's comments, tongue in cheek, kind of a joke, but it's actually kind of true in terms of Italy's best striker is in Argentine,
Yeah,
and
Matteo
you know,
Retegui. Yeah,
yeah. And if you look at Argentina for Alvarez, I was reading comments in the first half where people were saying, "Oh, Alvarez was almost invisible. We didn't see him." Alvarez did a lot of running. He did a lot of dirty work. He did a lot of running off the shoulder of the defender, and in the second half, he continued, and in the second half, he got rewarded with a goal. Credit to Alexis McAllister. That was great. That
oh my
little
God.
deft touch, the
I,
great
I
run.
got really scared.
Yeah, I
I got
thought
really
it could have
scared.
been very, very bad. Yeah.
For those of us without hair or with gray hair and with a very good memory, I thought about Pumpido getting injured against the USSR in
Yeah,
Italy in
1990.
'99. It was a similar because two players going in the opposite direction and meeting at the same point,
Yeah.
and this goalkeeper is massive. So when they collided, I was like, oh my God, please don't be the fibula and the because it really looked nasty.
Yeah.
And yeah, he made a sacrifice, and that was the most painful assist I remember seeing.
It was a bad one.
It
It
was
wasn't.
yeah,
It was bad. And on the topic of Julian Alvarez, he actually won man of the match.
he
So
did
he did.
good.
He won man of the match. So congratulations to him.
Yeah,
Messi. I mean, we'll talk a little bit about Messi as well. We had Lautaro come in. Uh, a nice finish by Lautaro. A nice
oh,
little roll
beautiful.
pass. Beautiful.
He had two finishes, and
Yeah.
one was really bad, awful. He could have done so many different things, and I think he rushed it a little bit, and
He had
he
time.
didn't do a good job there. Yeah, he made it easy for the goalkeeper.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the second one, because you have to really time that run. You have to really, it's really difficult. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of concentration and effort and body control. Apart from the timing itself, and then to do all that, stay on side,
Yeah.
jump right
It's
at the exact precise moment, and of course you have to count the best passer of the ball in the history of the game, and then to finish in between the legs of the goalkeeper. That was more than redemption in 10 minutes,
what
or it
a
was only 2 minutes after his miss maybe.
Yeah, yeah. And psychologically, that can be easy as well. Knowing you're 1-0 up, you just kind of missed a chance yourself. Canada's getting some chances.
Yeah,
All of that, you cannot underestimate. Mickey Deasing, you can tell how much that goal meant to him. Absolutely, it
yeah.
really meant a lot to him. Good celebration. People are mentioning Messi being injured. Messi is not injured. I don't.
It was scary too. It was scary.
Yeah,
At first, I thought it was the right ankle because
the way it
Bombito,
twisted.
the Canadian player, yeah,
Yeah,
he kind of twisted the ankle, but then he was clutching his left leg, and so I felt maybe it was a muscle injury or whatever.
yeah.
But it was good that he was able to continue playing.
Absolutely.
And can I just touch base on the two goals and those two passes from Messi? Those are, when you, it made me think, as an analogy, when you think about, for example, maybe the 30th best song by the Beatles or the 50th best song by the Beatles, that is that song is still better than the entire discography of I don't know how
Many
many bands.
many
Yeah, many
artists.
hundreds of bands. Yeah. So for Messi, these two passes would have been the best passes in the history and entire careers of a million players, and he did it in the same game. Both of them ended in goals. Like the first one wasn't an assist, but without that pass, there's no
There's
goal.
no.
Um, and I was, I'm still in awe. I'm watching this guy. I don't know for how long, and he still surprises me. Even he didn't have like the most excellent game of his career, but he was still the difference. And to me, he was man of the match on the
Yeah,
basis of those two things. I mean,
yeah.
he won the game indirectly.
It-
He didn't score any goal, but he produced
on
them both.
on a, let's say, perfect night or a perfect match for Messi, he could have had 3 goals or at the very
Yeah,
least two, and he had 2 assists, potential 2 more assists to Nicolas
yeah,
Otamendi, who could have
yeah,
scored. So Messi
yeah. Those ones too. Yeah,
off the free kick. So perfect night. If the stars are aligning and it's all good, Messi finishes with 3 goals and 4 assists,
yeah, yeah.
which
And and also let me tell you who else almost finishes with 2 or 3 assists. Divo Martinez.
Dibu, his, I
Yeah,
was thinking about. I'm gonna take a moment here, and I want to know if everybody else saw this as well. Every, that kick he had, or that pass he had to Messi, where Messi had the
yeah,
goalkeeper and the defender, and ultimately it was blocked. That one reminded me of Pato Abondanzieri versus the Ivory Coast in 2006, where he passed it to Crespo and Crespo got
yeah.
fouled, and then we scored off the free kick. And am I right in saying that Emiliano Martinez, his passing, his crossing has improved so much in the last 2 years? Am I right in saying that?
No,
Because I don't
absolutely.
remember him ever being this good at it. He was
No,
tremendous.
no, and he's so intelligent, and he knew it was a very good option for us to play that very deep kick and pass to break to break the last line of defense, and also knowing that none of our players would have been offside because they're running from our own pitch, from our own half. So it was just a matter of placing the ball with a bit of advantage for the best player in history, and that's it. He almost he embarrassed the goalkeeper when he turned and twisted, and then he chipped it over Cornelius, but Cornelius was really brave and good enough to deflect it. I think it was with this area, shoulder, chest, but that would have been one of the most beautiful goals ever scored by Messi because of what he did um, prior to finishing. And then he chipped the ball over Crepeau in another goal scoring opportunity that he had. But I think, frankly, in that situation, he should have passed to the middle. I think Lautaro was coming. That would have been an easy goal. But he tried to chip the ball over the keeper, and he went wide.
Yeah,
Um, but
but
he, he
it's
he created the 2 goals. I mean, what else can you ask?
it's messy. It's absolutely messy. Let's get to the comments, and then we'll get to some other stuff as well. Um, Javier, good morning from South Africa. Good morning, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Hola,
Mickey,
Javi.
Mickey D is saying with the modern game, goalkeepers now need to be good with their feet. And you know what? We have one that's good with his feet, and we also have the best goalkeeper in the world, all in one.
Yeah, with this, let me just go a little bit off topic, but in a WhatsApp group that I have with a lot of friends that are really big fans of football, obviously, um, they were talking about how many goals from outside the box have been scored in the Euro, and then they were saying we think some of them were saying I think it's because this obsession with goalkeepers having to be good with their feet,
Yeah.
having to be good passing the ball, and being more like a sweeper than a keeper, has made it so that there's a lot of goalkeepers that now are not very good at the basic, which is to stop the ball
It's
from
true.
going in.
It's
I don't
true.
know. I don't know. I'm not sure if I agree with that, but it was and I don't know. Many of the goals scored at the Euros from outside the box are unstoppable anyway. Like Denmark today, how can you say that?
Yeah.
It's incredible. It was an incredible goal, but Divo is complete. No, he's the complete player, the complete goalkeeper. The header that he saved today in in the
Yes,
early
in the first
stages of
half.
the game.
In the
Point
first
blank.
half.
That was amazing. The
Yeah.
control that he has over the
You
um,
I mean,
yeah.
you mentioned it. You said Debo's crazy, and he's gonna want that clean sheet, and he got that
Exactly.
clean
Yeah.
sheet. Yeah, he
Yeah.
he got that clean sheet. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, George saying the Paul played a little bit of basketball today. He certainly did.
He wanted a yellow card for that. Oh my
He
God.
really did. I
Well,
don't know what he was thinking.
well,
We were like,
now he'll probably be drafted by the Atlanta Falcons. Sorry, Atlanta Hawks. Well,
Atlanta
he
Hawks.
could have been a cornerback for the Atlanta Falcons.
A good
That
a
was
good
that
throw.
was a good pass deflection. Yeah.
A good little throw. Let's get to the next little bit that actually you and I were talking about right before we went on air. You were telling me, I was thinking about this. I didn't know when it was or what it was. You ended up telling me Julian Alvarez and Lautaro Martinez both scored in the same match for Argentina for the first time ever, which is a good thing, and especially that it happened in the first match of the Copa America.
Yeah, and that was my wish. Yesterday I said it doesn't matter who starts. We have the potential to see both of them scoring in the same game. They don't need a lot of chances to put the ball in the back of the net, and it was proven today. So that was probably one of the things that made me very very happy. And also, Lisandro Martinez after the game, he was saying he was so happy for both for Julian and Lautaro. He said is very, and this is something that I found it beautiful. He said, I'm a defender and I have to tell you, they do a lot defensively for us. They are the first defenders for that team, and I'm so happy that both of them got to score, and I'm sure this is gonna give them all the confidence and the trust, in the world for the upcoming games. It's very important that they already have a goal in the Copa America to their name.
Yeah, and we've seen it. I mean, just for example, in the last World Cup, right? Lautaro, when he wasn't scoring, and came Julian, he scored. Lautaro struggled to find a goal, ultimately didn't for different reasons. But now in the first game, the fact that they both scored, now the monkey's off their backs for this tournament. So whoever starts the next game, whatever it might be, sorry guys, just gonna deleting some
Moderate.
spam here. Yeah,
You
we're
need
doing
some moderate.
a bit of moderation. Uh,
Yeah,
uh,
I have to say I'm the only psychic in the room.
there you go.
I predicted yesterday that both of our number nines
Yeah.
were going to score. Yeah.
Head is mentioning important too for the post Messi era. Yes. So
Oh, why you have to talk about post
it
Messi era? I
it
mean,
well, let's change
don't
it up.
bring me down. Yeah, don't
Let's
bring
change
me
it up.
down. No, it's
No,
all
no,
good.
no, no.
It's all good. No. But
Uh, no,
it's
but it's
absolutely true. It's
yeah.
absolutely true. Of
No, it
course,
is. It is.
of course.
Uh,
I was
makes
just half joking there. I,
no. It's
I mean, Messi doesn't know this, and I feel like I will break the news here. Messi will play the next World Cup. Everybody knows it. I mean, everybody feels it.
at this point.
There's
Yeah.
no way he's going to. So let's wait. Let's wait for the post Messi era. There's a lot. And again,
Yeah.
Anulo Mufa here again
Of
for
course, as
the
always.
people paying attention. Yeah.
Yeah. Varun, a very, very important point by Varun, who says it's very important for Alvarez's confidence that he started today on club level. He doesn't start, so crucial for upcoming games. And again, going back to them, Alvarez maybe plays a little bit of a different role with City than maybe Lautaro does with Inter. But you have Alvarez that starts today, and in comes the top goal scorer in Italy, Lautaro
Yeah.
Martinez, as a substitute. So again, going back to what you said, Seba, not every national team can say that they have two world class number nines.
Absolutely.
And
Uh, yeah, and also it was important for Julian because the last time he scored for Argentina, it was the World Cup semifinal against Croatia.
Croatia.
Those two goals, um,
Another goal created by Messi.
beautiful goals. Yeah, the last one it was
The last
created by
one
Messi, and the first one was created
by
by
him.
just by Julian's crazy head. You know,
Yeah.
that was incredible,
No.
incredible goal.
Um,
Um,
Looking here, Suradeep saying first match of the Copa America in 2021 was a draw versus Chile. First matches are the toughest. They absolutely are. They really always are. Funky talking a little bit about Lisandro Martinez, who almost had an assist with a great through ball. Let's talk a little bit about. I mean, we were talking about different kinds of players. Top 3 players, and Messi aside, as always, since we never want to include the alien.
Top three humans. Yeah.
Top 3 humans. Yeah, let us know in the chat. Top 3 humans. As you guys are letting us know, hit the like button, everybody, and hit the subscribe button. Trust me on that. You don't want to miss a single thing of what's coming up. Top 3 players. Obviously, we have Messi, but we're talking humans here. Seba, do you have 3 in mind? I know we can get more than 3.
It might be surprising because it was a win, and sometimes when you win, you tend to emphasize and mention attacking players or offensive players. To me, I think Cuti Romero was head and shoulders above the rest. Dibu Martinez, he was huge, immense. And then for third, without considering Messi, I start to struggle a little bit because those 2 for me were on another level today. They were like brutal.
Cuti, Dibu,
maybe Julian. Yeah, maybe Julian.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to think about it a little bit. I'm gonna get to the comments. We're getting some different answers, which I like. Funky saying Romero, Dibu, Licha, so it's very, very similar to you. I think everybody has Dibu. Dibu, Alexis, Cuti. Janet saying Acuna, Dibu, Cuti. Suraj, Dibu, Romero, Alexis. Barun, Dibu, Alvarez, Cuti. I might be inclined to maybe go with this one for me personally.
Yeah, it was what I was thinking.
Yeah. Mickey D, De Paul was massive. He always is. He always has a very good game, and he was playing 2 sports today as well, not just one, but 2.
Okay, I'm laughing at Mix Memorabilia's comment. Please bring it up.
Messi, Acuna, Mix Memorabilia, Roberto Duran.
Oh my God! Don't drink whatever Mix Memorabilia is drinking. Don't drink it at home, please. But no, it made me laugh. Really made me laugh. Love Roberto Mano de Piedra Duran. Amazing.
The same Cuti, Dibu, De Paul, SoFlo Soccer, Dibu, Cuti, Julian. We're really getting Cuti, Alvarez, De Paul, Romero, Dibu, Julian. Acuna, I thought Acuna had a solid first half.
Yeah. He did. I think he lacked a bit of an end product. And then second half he played more
defensively.
Maybe because we scored right away in the second half, and he didn't have to become an option to widen our attack and to surge forward. Maybe the plan was to continue exactly as the first half, but then as soon as we scored, situation changes, and logically, our every individual mission also changes, of course. But he was solid.
You want to laugh? You want to know how a little bit what I was thinking of during halftime, and this is completely irrelevant, but it actually worked. It really actually worked. I was thinking, because I guess depending on the camera angle, but for me, Argentina in the second half were shooting or were kicking towards the right side of the screen for me. And I started to think, I'm like, okay, in the World Cup, because I'm a little bit superstitious, and I was thinking during the World Cup, when was the last time Argentina in the second half were kicking on the right side? It wasn't the World Cup final. It wasn't versus Croatia in the semis. It wasn't the Dutch in the quarters. It wasn't Australia in the round of 16. It was versus Poland. And then I thought, versus Poland, it was 0-0. And then we scored like a minute and a half into the match, into the second half. And I'm like, that would be nice if, again, we scored a minute and a half into the second half. And we did.
It happened. Alexis was involved. Alexis was involved
as well. Yeah. Instead of getting the goal, he got the assist.
Yeah.
So these are the very important things, the superstitious things
Crazy.
that
Yeah,
Roy talks
crazy,
about
crazy.
during halftime.
I don't want to put you in a tough spot.
Of
Do you
course,
have the statistics that I share
I'm gonna
of
get them right away.
Argentina after the World Cup
Yeah, of
title?
course, of course.
We
Give me
play
right
15 games, and I wanted to bring this up because mm, statistics don't always explain what happens on the pitch, but I think in this case there's a lot there's a solid story. It's in Portuguese, but bear with me. So 15 games after the World Cup, since the World Cup title, it's 15 games, 14 wins, only one defeat. You will remember exactly. It was in
now.
the
Yeah,
World Cup
Uruguay.
qualifiers at home against Uruguay, and which means we took 93.3% of the points, scoring 34 times, conceding only 4, 12 clean sheets out of 15 games. And then these couple of numbers, I think they're very, very, they tell a story and they tell you what nature of a team we're seeing. And it's that we score a goal every 7.5 shots.
Minutes, shots.
Yeah. And we concede a goal every 20.3 shots conceded. And then we have an average of 66.9 uh, percent of possession, ball possession. So those numbers are brutal. I mean, it's of course you need to consider, and in I don't know how many of those games, our opposition was not world class. You have to say it.
Has to be
It's
said.
not
Yeah,
that we were not facing Germany, England, Spain, and Italy and France. We were playing teams that we should be beating, and we did beat. But I think those numbers are
it's
impressive.
impressive. No, it's absolutely impressive. And the most impressive thing for me, and there's certainly a lot of them, is defensively. I mean, we're talking 12 clean sheets. I know you said we're not playing, the France or the Italy or whatnot, but even when technically, if you want to think about it, before the World Cup, when we did play Italy, we did get that clean sheet. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And playing in South America is never easy, whether it's Ecuador or Colombia or whoever it is. Getting a clean sheet versus Brazil at the Maracanã in a World Cup qualifier, that counts for a lot.
yeah,
And the team, whether it's Dibu, whether it's Scuti or Lisandro or Otamendi or whoever it is, these players give their heart in every single match, and it shows. And you don't get these kinds of statistics if the players don't put in the performances that they do.
exactly. We said yesterday, no complacency. There's never
No,
going to be any complacency. We might lose a game. We can be beaten. Um, Uruguay, I think, deserved to win at La Bombonera
yeah,
when we play
yes,
against them. Um, and yeah, it could happen, but it didn't happen because of complacency. It happened because they were better on the day, and that's it. End of story.
yeah.
But I was at ease before this game because I knew players will be up for the task. Players will be smelling blood and going for it, and it was like that.
And they were, yeah. No, they
Yeah.
really, really were. No complacency whatsoever. The next match for Argentina is actually on Tuesday versus Chile for the millionth time in the last couple of Copa Americas. Argentina, Chile, and that's gonna be the second match of the day. So Canada will play Peru before that.
Mhm.
So Argentina will play Chile. Tomorrow is the big game in the other group, Chile versus Peru. Um,
Yeah, and they hate each other. That's a big rivalry,
yeah,
and I'm really looking forward to watching that.
it's going to
Um,
be an entertaining one.
yeah,
That
yeah.
that's really going to be an entertaining one. And do you see? Maybe we might end up doing a preview for before that match. But do you see maybe a similar 11? Do you go with the same 11 versus Chile? I mean, you can maybe switch Lautaro with Julian if you want, but in general, would you keep the same one?
I think Scaloni. Well, I have a feeling. I don't know for sure, of course, but I think we could see some changes, and not because he didn't like what he saw today, but because, as we mentioned, he pays a lot of attention to what's in front of us, and maybe he thinks it's better to play a different formation, a different shape, a different
Mhm.
11, and the good thing is that we have the squad to that will allow the manager to bring in some changes without dropping in quality, and also you have to start considering he will want to manage the effort, and he will want to manage the workload for every player. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a few changes,
Yeah.
um, and then it will be just a matter of seeing how Scaloni sees the game developing in his head. We might see Lautaro instead of Julian because he anticipates that it will be a bit more physical battle up there.
Mhm.
Um, we might see Tagliafico instead of Acuna. We might see Otamendi instead of Lisandro.
Sandro.
I don't think that's. I don't know. I
Yeah,
might sound a bit relaxed, but I am actually relaxed because these are all world champions we're talking
yeah,
about, and
yeah. We
they're all up for the task.
Yeah, I mean, if there's no something you mentioned, there's no drop in quality. If Enzo comes in, let's say for Paredes, that's not a drop in quality. If
Exactly.
Montiel comes in for Molina or Tagliafico comes for Acuna, these are players that have been tried, that have been tested, that are winners. So,
Yeah.
do I expect changes? Me personally, I think we will get some changes. Um, I don't know how many, but I think we'll get some changes for sure. And
Oh yeah.
by that time as well, sorry, but by that time as well, it's gonna depend maybe what happens with Chile versus Peru,
That
because if
too, and also
they need points,
you need to see how our players are after this game. It was physical. He
yeah,
had a couple of nasty moments. We have to see how Alexis is doing. Julian got a kick to his hand. I don't know if you've seen
yeah,
when he started. He had a bandage there. So we need to analyze and see how they wake up tomorrow, how they're feeling in the next couple of games. But I'm thinking there will be changes, not just for this next game, but also for the Peru game. He's going to use the squad for sure.
yeah. Oh yeah, of course, of course. I don't see Scaloni not using the quality, the talent that he has. It's not his style
Mhm.
to just specifically stay with one or with the same 11 players.
Yeah.
No. On that note, Seba, before we wrap things up,
Yep.
anything else you wanna mention? You wanna talk about anything before we close things up?
Now I wanna mention a little bit about the fans. Uh, the number of fans there in Atlanta, and let me tell you, it was a bit like being here. Of course, this is a small percentage uh, that we have here with our viewership, but they're from everywhere, and you could see in the stands. And I saw some interviews outside the stadium before the game,
Mhm.
and they were from everywhere, and they were wearing the national team shirt like the Albiceleste, but they were from Central America, North America, wherever, like from everywhere, and it was a little bit like being here talking to our Mundo Albiceleste family. We always cover the five continents, and today to see a stadium like that big, full of Argentina shirts, to me is like a matter of pride. Um, it wasn't always the case. I remember '87. I live only in that direction, like there. When there's a night game, I can see the lights of the Monumental, the River Plate Stadium, where Argentina play most of the matches. But I remember I was 10 in the Copa America 1987. It was only 1 year after we won the World Cup, and the stadium was half full in every game.
Wow.
Like, and then you see, and it was at home, Buenos Aires. Like, and now you see wherever we play, there's a lot of fans there at the stadium, and also a lot of fans watching from everywhere and
Yeah.
crazy hours. And I'm sure, like today in Bangladesh, India, all across Asia, I'm mentioning those two countries because they're massive
No,
supporters. There's a lot of
but
support for Argentina,
but
and
it's
I'm sure
everywhere.
they were awake. They were awake at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., whatever the kickoff time
It's
was there. And to me, I want to thank everybody on behalf of the team, on behalf of
all of
I don't
us.
know my country. It feels really really good.
Yeah. No, no, it is, and we see it, and we talk about it in every single one of these videos, every single one of these streams. It is a family. It's worldwide. I mean, earlier we had Hong Kong, India, Bangladesh, Malaysia, Australia. It's everywhere. It truly
Yeah,
truly is everywhere, and this wouldn't exist without everybody here. And it's John is saying it. Argentina goes anywhere. Anywhere Argentina goes, they're going to be the home team.
yeah,
It really is that. It
yeah.
absolutely is that. Shah, there you go. Malaysia too. Many Argentina fans.
Malaysia bole, Malaysia bole.
Yeah, but it's 4:30 a.m. If I'm not mistaken, Mixed Memorabilia is in the UK. It's 4:30 a.m. and Mixed Memorabilia is sitting here with us, with everybody. It's insane. It's
Yeah,
insane.
yeah,
Funky's in Canada. We had a lot of people in Canada in this chat. A lot in the United States. Everywhere. There you go. There you go.
yeah.
I wanted to bring that up. And yeah, Javier, South Africa, if I'm not mistaken, I don't miss a game, whatever time game streams in South Africa. That's commitment.
Fantastic.
That's love. That's
Yeah.
dedication. That's passion. That's everything. Somo in Bangladesh, we get up at 5 a.m. to watch the Argentina matches.
See
5
what I
a.m.
mean? Yeah. No, and maybe I will repeat this story. But it still makes me laugh and makes not laugh but smile. Makes me really really happy to remember that. And I was writing the a blog for SoccerNet back in the build up for the Germany 2006 World Cup,
Mhm.
and then it was before, like it was uh, we had internet,
Yeah.
but it was before social media, before even the blogs. It was very rudimentary at the time. But the editor said, "Hey, Seba, um, you're doing very, very good numbers." And I said, "How can I tell? I mean, there's no way I can tell." And he says, "Why don't you create an email address and you put it at the bottom whenever you write an article, and I'm sure you're gonna get some responses." And I said, "Nah, he's joking, right?" So I created an email address and I posted there. I wrote an article there, and within 2 hours, I already had messages from Nigeria, Malaysia, India. I don't know. I don't remember all of those places, but in 2 hours, I had like so many emails. People thanking because it was written in English and they couldn't read Spanish, and they wanted to read and follow more about the Argentina national team. And to me, that was eye opening because, as I told you, it was already a global world, but not as global as today. And and I went like, oh my God, this is crazy. And then in 24 hours, my inbox was full. Like it was crazy. I was telling the editor, and the editor said, I told you uh, that you were having big repercussion. But it wasn't just because of me. It was because Argentina are very, very popular. And that was the idea. That was what gave me the idea to create Mundo Albiceleste as a site after the World Cup was over, and
Yeah.
I created the Mundo Albiceleste on Blogspot, and then I met John from Malaysia, and he started. He joined the team, and then later Roy, and now Roy made it what it is today. Without Roy, there's no streaming, and Mundo
We're a
would have
family.
probably been abandoned. Yeah, yeah.
We're a big
But
family.
that was amazing,
I
amazing memories.
I Before we wrap things up, the way that I found actually Mundo Albiceleste at the time, I don't know if you remember this, Seba. I remember it was Argentina versus Algeria right before the 2007 Copa America.
Camp Nou,
And
right?
at the Camp
Camp
Nou,
Nou?
at the Camp
Yeah.
Nou. And I was on Google, and I can't remember what I was searching for. Something about the match. I think it was the highlights. And because I watched the game, I remember, and then I wanted to rewatch the highlights, and I bumped into Mundo. At the time, it was just called, I think, Vamos Argentina or Vamos
Right.
Argentina.
Yeah.
And I found it, and that was it. I was hooked after that. I was absolutely
Yeah.
hooked. That's kind of how it started. I want to say a big, actually, happy birthday to David. It says perfect time here in 10 a.m. in Western Sydney, Australia, and on my birthday. So a big happy birthday to
Feliz
David.
cumpleaños. Feliz cumpleaños.
Thank you for spending it with us, or at least part of it with us.
Yeah.
Thank you. And yeah, John, that email address what brought us today. You were the one, wrote in 2006 during the World
That is
Cup.
amazing. Look
12
at
years
that.
in
Look at
Mundo.
that.
12 years for
Ooh.
Funky in Mundo. For us, we're going on 18 years, Seba. We are just over 18 years of Mundo Albiceleste. Obviously, we've grown. We've had people along the way. One of which is Osvaldo, who was at the match today. He was there,
Good.
sent some pictures and videos. So very, very happy for him as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mundo, I have to say I have two kids. One is 14, Felipe, and the other one is Manuel. He's 9. So Mundo is probably my eldest child. So he's
There you go.
old enough to drink.
Mundo's old enough to drink in
Yeah.
most places around the world. Oh my God. I think we're gonna have to end it there, Seb. I think we're gonna have to end it there.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna try and do a match preview prior to the match versus Chile. We'll try and set that up.
Yes.
We'll talk about
Yes.
it.
Yeah, I will be around the entire first round, and then the second, the next stages, I might not be able to feature, but I'll try.
You'll be there in spirit, if not.
Yes.
You'll be there in spirit. If not, we'll have two Sebas. We'll have your picture, and we'll have you. No, but on that note, I do want to say a big thank you to everybody for joining us. As always, it's super fun. We love doing this. We enjoy it, interacting with everybody. We read the different stories, the different comments. It's always a pleasure. I just want to say a big thank you once more. My name is Roy Nemer. This is Sebastian Garcia at MundoAlbiceleste.com. If you haven't hit that like button yet, hit the like button. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, hit the subscribe button. And if you have not, hit the notifications button. What are you waiting for? Hit that notifications button. Once more, everybody, my name is Roy Nemer. This is Sebastian Garcia of MundoAlbiceleste.com. Take care, everybody. Until next time. Bye.